Justin Fields versus Caleb Williams. This has been a topic of conversation recently following Fields returning from injury. He looks pretty good against a legitimate NFC contender in the Lions. 16 for 23, 169 yards and a touchdown. Actually, a beautiful touchdown to DJ Moore. 18 carries for 104 yards, did it on the ground as well. And Chicago should have won this game. That's what was so frustrating about the other day, Sunday as a Vikings fan. Detroit should have lost, the Vikings should have won, and somehow down 26-14 with 4:15 left on the clock, the Bears find a way to blow the lead, which actually is probably good for Chicago in the draft. I think they keep a top 5 draft pick. But 15 unanswered, they wind up losing. What you really have to look at from the Bears' point of view right now is that Justin Fields is in audition mode for the next 6 weeks. He's trying to prove that he can be the guy going forward, and that the Bears don't have to take a Caleb Williams or a Drake May. And it seems that a lot of Bears fans are currently in his corner. Just from looking on social media today, all these posts that are saying, what should the Bears do? A lot of Justin Fields, go draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Go down the list and check it out for yourself. That's what you're going to see. A report came out that the Bears would have to be blown away in order by one of these rookies to potentially take one of them in the draft next year. I disagree, and here's my take, and then we'll see why you're on the other side of this. I actually think that they need to be blown away by Justin Fields to not take Caleb Williams. I know your guy is Drake May, Ziggy, but he's sort of fallen off for me. People have been getting on Caleb for a down year at USC, but his offensive line stinks. The defense, we all acknowledge, is horrendous. They can't stop a nosebleed. And I think if you gave him Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, JSN, the Ohio State offensive line and defense from Justin Fields' time, you would see Caleb Williams in the college football playoff. I don't think a lot of people would disagree with that. And you're talking about here who has greater potential in the NFL. The arm talent of Caleb Williams, a couple of the throws he makes. He did, against UCLA, look at the 74-yard touchdown they had. I mean, just on the money. The guy does things that most NFL quarterbacks can't do. So obviously, I do think this will work itself out over the next 6 weeks. If Justin Fields is unbelievable, they'll probably stay with Fields. But as it stands right now, Caleb Williams has to be the pick.
To me, it's too big of a risk to take a quarterback out of college at number one. Caleb Williams specifically, you look at the good...
Wait, what does that mean?
I just think if you abandon Justin Fields,
given what they have,
yeah. If you let's say you abandon Justin Fields, right? You draft Caleb Williams number one. It's risky. What if he doesn't pan out? It's the same thing.
Everyone does that. Like, everyone takes a quarterback at number one.
Here's what I'm going to say. It feels like Justin Fields has been the Bears starting quarterback forever at this point, at least for me. But he really hasn't. Justin Fields is 24 years old. He has untapped potential. To me, this Bears team, he has talent. He has upside. I think this Bears team has so much bigger, pressing needs. The offensive line, the defense. And I believe that if you go and you draft a quarterback, that just kills the confidence of Justin Fields. I think that
he won't be the quarterback anymore.
But I think, I'm saying just in general. I think you have to support and build around Justin Fields. He's young. I think that he can be pretty solid if he develops, if he gets older. And if you put a team around him who's okay, I think he's a good quarterback.
So you're saying build the team?
Build the team. Draft Harrison, draft Joe Alt, improve the defense, improve the line, get him another weapon. Caleb Williams, against the good defenses throughout his college career, Utah has murdered him 3 times. He's looked meh against Oregon. Notre Dame has kicked his ass. You don't know.
Hell yeah.
You don't know. I'm rolling with Justin Fields. I'm developing him and getting and building around him.
What do you think, Ziggy?
Look, I don't care which quarterback in this draft class you think is better. There's a few good, interesting options, but it is malpractice to not take a quarterback. We know what a team looks like when you've got a good offensive line, when you've got a good defense, when you've got lots of all-pro level weapons and no good quarterback. It's called the Atlanta Falcons, right? We see this over and over again. Teams think, okay, we just need to get the right system. If we have a good offensive line and a good weapons and a good defense, we'll draft any old quarterback in and he'll do fine. But the way you compete consistently in the NFL isn't by having good pieces and taking a MAC quarterback. It's by hitting a star. And Justin Fields has shown nothing. It's not like he's a rookie, right? He has been around a fair number of years. And we have not seen anything that indicates to me that he's likely to turn into a star. Now, it's possible he plays well next 6 games, and then next year you roll out him as a starter and he's great. If that's true, awesome. Trade Caleb Williams. Get like 3 first-round draft picks for him, right? Trade whoever you draft. It's not like your trade value is going to be dead because they sat on your bench for a couple of weeks, right? I don't understand what teams are thinking here. You have to hit the elite quarterback, and they probably don't have it.
Well, Caleb Williams, Justin Fields, he has flashes of greatness to me. He's a little bit like having a hot, toxic girlfriend where you can go out and she could be unbelievable for a night and you're going, oh my God, this girl's perfect. Like, it's everything I want. And then the next day she's complaining about, like your shirt or something like that. And you're fighting about something like, what the hell? Justin Fields will go out and run for 150 yards, throw for 2 or 3 touchdowns. And you say, wow, when he plays like this, he is a legit top 10 quarterback in the league. And then a week later, he could throw 2 picks and your offense can't move the ball at all. And you're saying, and all the Bears fans are saying, what the hell? We need to go get someone here. It's a failed experiment. And that's where the consistency of Justin Fields has never been there. So just because he's looked really good recently against the Commanders and now also against the Lions, that doesn't mean for me that I'm saying, yeah, let's give up on the generational prospect that is unanimously viewed as one of the best players to come out of college in the past 2 decades. Like, it's just a lot to give up to say, yeah, let's go year 4 of Justin Fields.
Look at a situation like what who picked for the Panthers and the Texans went through last year, right? They hit on Houston hit on CJ Stroud, but it's looking like Bryce Young might turn out to be a bust. But they had no other option. They had nobody to play quarterback. They had to draft a quarterback. I don't think the Bears do.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Caleb Williams to me is honestly a less physically gifted Justin Fields.
He's just such a better thrower.
He gets happy feet. He takes big sacks. He tries to make too many big plays and it costs. And we've seen that.
You're right that he has some issues in the pocket, right? But we're talking about a guy who's one of the best throwers we've ever seen coming out of college. It's just silly.
But I've seen other quarterbacks look so good in college and don't pan out. It's just a risky to me.
So here's the mistake in this, right? You were assuming that because there's a chance Justin Fields or that Caleb Williams doesn't work out, that they shouldn't be taking it. But there's always going to be a chance the player doesn't work out. There's a much better chance that Justin Fields won't work out. But why not? Because we've seen him 3 years in the NFL and he hasn't.
But Fields is still just 24 and he's never played in a really good team.
I don't care what age he is.
I understand that.
Like, draft a lineman, draft Marvin Harrison, build your defense. Like, the Bears.
Well, you can
terrible.
draft Caleb Williams and also try and get Marvin Harrison.
I'd go Marvin Harrison and Joe Alt.
Would you prefer if you could start?
It's also a loaded quarterback class. Why not get a quarterback maybe later?
If you could start, because he's not Caleb Williams.
But look who's being Caleb Williams. Michael Penix, Bo Nix. These guys are better than him.
But Caleb Williams, we just said his surrounding talent is horrible at USC.
4th round. Kirk, 4th round. Jalen Hurts, 2nd round. I don't see why take a quarterback number 1.
Now, do you think if you had to start your team fresh with Caleb Williams next year or Justin Fields, let's say regardless of who's around them, you would start with Justin Fields?
I'm not super high on Caleb Williams. I've seen the good college defenses he's played. He has not done well.
Don't tunnel on Caleb Williams. You don't think there's any quarterback in this upcoming draft class you like more than Justin Fields? Right, because it's not really about Caleb Williams. It's about whatever quarterback.
Not at the number 1 pick. No. Yeah. But if
you would trade the number 1 pick, go down a couple, try and get Marvin Harrison and Joe Alt.
Yeah.
And then build that around Justin Fields.
I think it's a better draft to build around Fields and take Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is a question mark.
What about trading Justin Fields for, what do you think you could get for Fields? 2nd?
Who knows?
Maybe the other option is, I guess, draft a quarterback and then have him have a competition and try to trade the other. But I just think there's too many needs, like, other than a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's what the
Panthers and Texans, that wasn't the same thing.
Here's what the Bears can do, right? They can be like the Raiders. They can have the best wide receiver in the NFL. Maybe you throw in a decent left tackle and be terrible because they have no one to play quarterback. They could be like the Texans. Nothing's really working out, but you get the guy in and he elevates everyone around him. Maybe Caleb Williams sucks. Maybe Drake May sucks. Maybe whoever they take sucks. Great. Then they can go back to the draft class and take another swing at quarterback. But unless you have an elite quarterback in the NFL, you can have whoever you want at wide receiver. You can have whoever you want at offensive line, whatever defense. You will not be able to compete for very long or very consistently. But if you hit that quarterback, you'll be making the playoffs every year. And eventually you might get lucky and break through.
Well, there you have it. Paul and Ziggy, Caleb Williams, or just the quarterback. We'll get, there's a lot more of this conversation to be had as the year goes on. This is kind of just starting to scratch the surface here.